we're just going to jump right into it. A 200-page document was released by the CIA this past week. I'm going to list out and talk about some of the highlights from these pages. Also, I can't really show all the document here, but a copy of it will be in my Instagram bio, so check that out if you need to see the document yourself to believe it. My Instagram will be in the description. One of the more notable things about this whole situation is their investigations into his wealth, having listed his assets, their worth, and his general net worth being around $1 billion. Another thing I found quite notable from this whole ordeal is how closely they watched him and his girlfriend in public and even in private. I mean, some of the things in this document seem very personal, but I'll get into that later in the video, so stick around if you want to hear that stuff. They went deeply into his relationships with public figures and even like politicians he associates himself with. And surprise, surprise, it's mostly right-wing politicians and wealthy people, including people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and J.D. Vance. I can't say I'm surprised by any of this. I mean, just looking online, you can clearly tell the people he targets his videos towards are more right-leaning. However, something interesting I've noticed was how many of the people were just like unnoteworthy billionaires. One of them highlighted as Jeffrey E., but when I researched him, all I found was some old dude who offed himself. I mean, a lot of these are very wealthy, but seemingly normal guys and a couple girls. Anyways, to get into the more juicy parts of this document, we're going to talk about his more personal life. It seems like they had him under a watchful eye for a very long time. I mean, there's stuff going all the way back to 2019. Honestly, it gets pretty in-depth to the point where I don't even know if I can say some of this stuff on YouTube. But to get into it, they said that on several occasions, Jimmy would walk around the living room fully unclothed. That's a quote. And as much as we all wish they included photos or videos, they unfortunately didn't. I guess they just couldn't get a clear image of Jimmy's beast. But in all seriousness, that's an insane thing to include in a CIA document. Like, now we all know that Jim just prances around unclothed in his own home. Honestly, that's not even that weird. I don't know why they felt like they needed to include that. Another part of this page says that he was really the one that seemed to have made dinner, and that his girlfriend didn't cook much at all in the years that they were surveilled, which feels pretty progressive for a white-wing guy. At least he's doing something for her, besides being a billionaire. Either way, it's also not a big deal. I mean, I'm sure they ate out most of the time. I know I would if I had that kind of money. Now, the crazy thing is that they went into heavy detail about his sex life, saying things like he growled like the beast he is during fornication. And the fact that that's an actual quote from a CIA document is absolutely insane to me. Another thing they said was that he rubbed a couple out before his girlfriend got home from work so he could last longer in bed. And honestly, I think the craziest part about that sentence is that his girlfriend has a job. Like, if my boyfriend was a billionaire, I'd just sit back and enjoy the fruits of his labor. I don't know if that's sexist to say, but that's just me. The last thing I'll go over in this video is from page 198, where he goes over his dealings with the Russian mafia. I mean, from the looks of it, he dealt quite a lot of Colombian sinus seasoning to these guys, and at one point even got into a shootout with one of the members. But this whole section's pretty boring, so I won't go into any further detail. I'm trying to keep this video short so I can get it out as soon as possible because this stuff is pretty fresh and I want to capitalize on it as much as I can. But if you want a part 2 in this document, I'd love to make another video going over more pages. This is just so interesting to me, honestly. So let me know in the comments how you feel on this and if you want a part 2. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. 1 like equals 1 Feastables bar. Subscribe if you want to see Jimmy Beast go beast mode.
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the wall, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it in. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun.
like a monster.
I hate what I've become, the darkness has begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster.